Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
We'll say something else. Say,
Okay,
my
I'm
name is
saying-
Harrington.
My name is Harrington. What else would you like me to say, Michael?
Say, I'm an idiot.
All right. I'm an idiot.
And I routinely fail this podcast.
I don't think that's an accurate representation
You
at all,
asked
but I'll
me
say
what
it
you wanted
because-
me you
okay,
to
fine.
say.
I fail this podcast routinely.
Yeah, because that's weird, because that does happen. So it's weird that you would want to say.
Welcome to the show, everybody. We just have a little audio difficulty here. Harrington sounds like he's coming to us through a fucking tannoy system at a quick save at a local supermarket. Quick Save is a chain of now bankrupt supermarkets in the UK, and Harrington can't get any closer to his microphone. Harrington, tell them why you can't get closer to the microphone.
Because there is a sale on paper towels in aisle 3. Sale on paper towels in aisle 3.
He said his belly's too big. I mean, listen,
Okay.
well, that's what you said. You said this is I said scoot a little closer. You said I can't. This is as close as one can scoot when one is carrying the girth around said midsection.
I mean, no, it's just that the I mean, I'm not going to break down the geometry of where the stand is to my table to everything else, but
Well, good.
I think that am I sounding okay? Now,
You sound great. You sound
okay.
great.
You're
You're
sound
looking
great.
also phenomenal.
Thank
Yes.
you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, everybody. As you probably noticed, Anthony Smith is not here today because he's got better things to do. Yeah, that's right. You all talk shit about me and say Anthony Smith's podcast now, but at least I show up. Where's he? Lardy darn it at AEW Wrestling with VIP tickets. I mean, who on earth would want to go do that than speak to Harrington? Exactly. So he's going to be back on Thursday. Make no mistake. Have a great time, Anthony. Hope you're all well. Got a great show planned for you today. Even though Harrington is on the call, we do have two special guests. We have Josh Emmet, who put on a tremendous fight at the weekend with Kelvin Cater. What a fight that was. So we're going to talk to him, have a laugh with him, and figure out what's next. I know he called out for a title fight. And also Adrian Yanez, who at bantamweight is just doing incredible goddamn things. And of course, got another knockout at the weekend. I'm going to regret saying this, but what did you do at the weekend, Harrington?
I watched the fights. I worked at my comedy club and watched the fights. It's pretty much every weekend for me. I don't do anything outside of those two things.
All right, because I just wasn't sure where that was going to go. And I was like, and I'm not even interested. Brian, and there's no point even asking you. Brian never, ever even leaves the house.
Well, I did leave to go watch the fights at my buddy's house, so that did happen.
Oh, how did the fresh air feel?
It was pretty good. I do try to leave my house only when the sun is gone.
Well, talking of sun, and this is a great segue into not something we planned on talking about, but what did they call it? The Manhattan something, where the sun comes down between the skyscrapers. I saw it all over social media
Stonehenge.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Stonehenge.
Manhattan Stonehenge.
No, Manhattan Henge. That's what they call it.
There it is.
You sound weird again, Harrington.
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
It's yourself.
Not only look weird, it's not bullying everyone. It's called having banter. You're so mean to Harrington. It's called banter. It's called having fun. Or as we say in England, taking the piss.
Well,
taking the piss.
Has himself muted. I'm just going to show everybody what Manhattan Henge looks like.
Yeah, Manhattan Henge. I mean, that's not the best picture, Brian. It's not very. I mean, it essentially is it.
That's the picture.
But I saw better ones on social. Listen, I threw this on you without any notice whatsoever. I'm sure if you type in Manhattan Henge and go Google images as it were, it'll bring up good ones. What do you think about Manhattan Henge, Harrington?
He's muted.
It was not something I knew about. It was not something I knew about before I moved here, but I do remember my first year living in New York City, some girl being like, yeah, you need to take me on a date to this place at this time so that we can see it. And it was, yeah, I mean, it's something to kind of behold.
What
There's not
kind of crazy woman are you dating? Because if that's a better picture, whatever. We got lots of good shit to talk about other than Manhattan Henge, but glad you had a great weekend. We did have great fights, and we did have Kevin Holland on there, who actually had a tremendous fight at the weekend. But
Which one?
Kevin, well, that's it. Exactly. That's what I'm getting to. You fucked up the flow again, Harrington. Well done. But yeah, before he kicked ass in the octagon, he wasn't kicking ass on the street, but he did take down yet another criminal. You know, I mean, he really is living up to the nickname of Batman or Blackman, as he calls himself. But it's unreal. I think that's 4 times now or 5 times, Harrington. I do believe you've got the article there in front of me. How many times has he foiled a crime the night or the week of fight week? Because if I was his coach,
fight week itself,
I would be having a serious fucking or in training camp then. Let's not get down to specifics and nitty gritty.
So I'm looking here. I have 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th time.
4th time. Yeah. And what were those specifics? So obviously this one, somebody was stealing some perfume from, I don't know, it was a CVS or something like that. And he saw the person running off down the street with the perfume and he said, hold on. And he went after him and he said, drop it and I won't beat you up or something like that. Again, if I was his coach or his cornerman, I'd be like, no, you are not doing that, Mr. Kevin Holland. We are here in, where were the fights? Austin, Texas. We are in fucking Austin, Texas. We have flown down here for one reason only. Not for you to fight crime. Not for you to defend the records or the accounting of CVS. They don't give a fuck about, and what kind of aftershave are you getting from there anyway? Do you know what I mean? Probably, what kind of aftershave do you wear, Harrington?
Stetson Black. And you can get that at CVS.
I don't know what Stetson Black is. Brian, look that up if it's a real thing.
Oh, it's real.
In fact, yeah, is it good?
Yeah, it smells great. It's like tobacco, amberwood, yeah, it's good. It's like real manly.
All the good stuff there. Only thing you need right now, because you got all the amberwood and tobacco and all the rest of it, you just need some bass in your voice, because again, you sound like you're coming at me through a TARDIS. You know, it's bad sound, but whatever. Brian.
So I have the list here if you want it.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, Brian, does he sound okay to you, Brian?
He's a little muffled. I just gave him some instructions over there.
You gave him a little boost.
Speaking of Kevin Holland, we have eyewitness accounting of the incident over the weekend. So I'm going to pull that up right now.
I just like the way you just commandeered the screen. You threw Harrington off. I'm busting his balls, but now this is making him look like we're kicking him off the show.
No, he's all right. I just don't want people to see what's happening on his side right now.
Okay. Yeah, because the sound is bad. All right, let's have a look.
So I saw 2 guys running after some other guy. I thought they were just like fucking around playing. But then I heard the guy say, one of the guys chasing, he's like, if you drop it, I won't fuck you up.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit, that guy got robbed. But by the time I pulled out my phone to record any of it, they were like, you want to go?
We're sitting here, Oren booked the wrong reservations, so we're just sitting out here with nothing to do. And we had got some water from the liquor and wine spot, what Coach had did. And we see some guy running down the street. So we opened up our cardio, chased the crackhead. That's how we did it. That's what we did today.
All right. First of all, you can tell that Kevin Holland is loving life at 170. You know what I mean? Because if I had a physique like that, I wouldn't have my shirt on either.
I wouldn't have it on right now.
Yeah. He looks amazing at 170. Physically to look at, but aesthetically, should I say, but also in the octagon as well. But yeah, as I'm saying, I mean, so Harrington, what are the 4, just real quick, what other ones were there?
So he ran down a guy who stole a car.
Right.
He stopped a gunman who came into a restaurant and started popping off shots.
That's right, yeah.
And then there was someone who was in like an overturned truck that was on fire, and he like went over there and saved that guy.
So he might be Batman.
I mean, signs point to yes.
I mean, have you ever seen Batman and Kevin Holland in the room at the same time?
I don't think I have.
No. Well, that's awesome, stopping the gunman and all the rest of it and saving someone from a burning car. But still, my earlier point remains about the CVS inventory of the perfume or the aftershave, whatever it was. No one cares. The manager doesn't care. The employees doesn't care. No one cares. They have insurance, and no one. How much is a bottle of that aftershave you wear, Harrington?
I mean, like $12.
$12. They'll get over it, right? God knows where that could have got. I mean, I love it. Listen, Kevin Holland is such a character, friend of the show. He's been on here a couple of times, I think, now, right? Love watching him in the octagon. And hey, God bless him. God bless him. But as I say, if I was his manager or his coach, I would have definitely been having, nightmares, because anything can happen. Yes, listen, for one, the guy could have a knife or a gun or whatever, but never mind that, he could twist his ankle. It's the night before a fight. You've dedicated the last 2 months of your life for this moment. Yes, Brian.
So what's the liability issue on that? Could the dude come around and sue Kevin Holland for kicking the shit out of him on the street?
Yeah, but he didn't kick the shit out of him.
I'm saying in the hypothetical situation where Kevin Holland continues his Batman career.
Yeah. Well, if he did beat the shit out of him, yeah, of course. Anytime you beat the shit out of someone, certainly in America, no offense, you're gonna get a lawsuit. and then you know what? There's weird ways how they could even end up suing the UFC, believe it or not. And then William Morris Endeavor. Yeah, I know, because I got sued. And they also tried suing the UFC at the same time as well. They would say, you were there because of the UFC event. No, this is all a stupid hypothetical situation. So don't do any clickbait fucking articles saying the person that robbed the CVS store, Michael Bisping, says that he could sue the UFC. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if Kevin Holland beat the shit out of him, put him in a coma, and he hired a lawyer, that's the type of shit that they do. Remember, I had that thing in 24-hour fitness years ago, and some guy was in my face, and I grabbed him. And then because I'm a UFC fighter, they were then also suing. They sued me. They sued 24-hour fitness, William Morris Endeavor, the UFC, Zuffa. I mean, it got nowhere. It got absolute nowhere. But that's what they were trying, and that's what people do. There's scumbags out there, man.
So where do you draw the line, right? For Kevin Holland, I agree. I think a guy taking like a $20 aftershave from CVS probably don't need to be getting involved in that one.
Again, not talking about just in case he sees this and it's taken out of context. Couldn't give a fuck if he wants to go chase down criminals. Boy, I've got like trap wind or something in my heart. It's driving me crazy. It's just like the night before a fight. You haven't done it, Harrington. I know you and your best mate, you like to mess around a bit and you think you know how it takes because you put gloves on and you get a little bit sweaty now and again. And yeah, we really know. You don't know. When you're going through a training camp at the highest level, the amount of sacrifice, and it's a tough time. It's hard. That's why so many fighters go to the octagon with injuries. You know what I mean? And there's high stakes, high pressure, a lot of work. You fucking close yourself off from the rest of the world for this one moment, this one night. Do you know what I mean? So as I say, I mean, God bless him. But as his manager or his cornerman or a coach, I'd have been like, no, you let him take that bottle of eau de toilette, okay? It's none of your business, Kevin Holland. But anyway, sorry, you were saying.
No, I just wanted to know where the line is for the count to jump in, right? Like you're in Kevin Holland's shoes. It's a day before, you're about to fight Kung Lee, let's say. What level of crime is it going to take for you to jump in there?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I keep myself to myself, Hamilton. You know what I mean? I like to mind my own business. But no, if I see someone doing a little bit of shoplifting, a crackhead by all accounts, I'm not going to get involved at that. Let's just say that. But I'll tell you, another time I was outside a nightclub, the Empire nightclub in Morecambe. Mm-hmm. And me, my brother Conrad, Stephen, my mate Baz Scott, and Pete Aspinall were all sitting in the car waiting for the club to open. And there was this homeless woman, and this guy was beating the shit out of her, right? So there you go. I mean, obviously, we weren't going to stand by and watch that. So my brothers go, whoa, hold on. Should we kick the fuck out of him? And like my other brother went, yeah. So we jumped out of the car, and then boom, my brother fucking chins him one. Because honestly, this homeless lady, he was beating her up really badly. It was absolutely disgusting. So my brother cracks him in the face. And then, of course, we didn't realize he walks out. He's with about 20 fucking guys, all in the Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? So they all come out and we're like, oh, shit.
They were all cool with their boy beating up a homeless woman?
It's called a gang of thugs, Harrington.
Oh, Jesus.
It's called a gang of thugs. But yeah, no, he was beaten. I don't know if they knew. And anyway, but then my mate Pete asked me, he had like a big thing of Sprite. And they're all standing there, and there's like 5 of us, there's like 20 of them. And my mate Pete asked me with his big thing of Sprite, just like throws it sideways, so it like splashes over all of them, right? And they're like, what the fuck? Because no one was saying anything. Pete just went, fuck off, threw the Sprite all over them. And then they said, right, pick one of you to fight one of us, and that's how we'll settle this.
That's how you deal with stray cats.
Say again.
So that's how you deal with stray cats. You just throw water at them.
We don't condone cruelty to any kind of animals on this show. And then my two older brothers, I should just emphasize that point. I was 16 years old.
They were pushing
me. They volunteered me to be the one to represent our group in a fucking fist fight. Anyway, that's a story for another day.
To be fair, Mike, if we were all in a group and then somebody had to fight, I would volunteer you as well.
My brother Conrad's 6'6", built like a brick shit house, and used to routinely beat the shit out of me every day. And at that time, my brother Stephen did as well. Anyway, Kevin Holland. All right, real quick, I want to tell you about Masterworks. Listen, you can invest in anything you want these days, but did you know you can also invest in some of the finest pieces of art on the goddamn planet? And yes, you know that this art will go up eventually in value by a lot. I mean, the Mona Lisa, only the most famous piece of art in the world, that used to be $30,000, and now it's valued at something like $867 million. That is like a 2,000,000% appreciation or something like that. And of course, it isn't just the Mona Lisas. You've got all kinds of artists and art hitting the shelves. They're in museums, and now you can buy a piece of it. You do not have to be Oprah Winfrey rich. You do not have to drive a Lamborghini. You do not have to be a rich douchebag. Just gonna have a few bucks spare. Want to roll the dice, make a few quid, invest in something fun. Go to masterworks.art/believe. Use the promo code believe. This is something really cool. And listen, they all go up in value. All art goes up in value. Stake a little stake. Buy a little stake, have a little stake in it, get a piece of the action. So yeah, so as I say, go to masterworks.art/believe, promo code believe. You will get to skip the waiting list and save you some time. Masterworks.art/believe. We have Josh Emmet joining us just shortly. So we'll just talk about that fight. I mean, what did you make about it, Harrington?
I mean, you know, my biggest takeaway after that first and second round, I was like, has Josh Emmett's window closed, right? Because the book on Calvin Kattar is he's a slow starter. And Josh Emmett, I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to stick around for all 25 minutes of that fight and still be bringing, you know, the dynamic power that he has late into the fight. Instead, Josh Emmett went out there, put on like a very complete performance, unlike anything I've ever seen from him before, going 25 minutes and just outboxing Calvin Kattar, right? The guy who a year ago was talking about how he has better boxing than Max Holloway just got outboxed by Josh Emmett for certain over the course of 25 minutes. Incredible performance by Emmett.
It was an incredible performance by both men, to be honest. I thought back and forth, both guys did a tremendous job. Anytime you have a good fight, you know, it takes two to tango, simple as that. What did you think about the result? Because a lot of people, and here he is, speak of the goddamn devil. What's up, Josh?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. May I ask, can we get a little look underneath the shades?
You can, just for you.
Come on, come on.
Yeah, it's a little.
Ooh.
My eye actually just opened this morning.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Shit, man. How many stitches in that left eye?
I don't know. It's like my whole eyebrow, and then this one right here was like almost like it's like a Y shape. So they had to go like a bunch down and on the other side. But other than that, doing all right.
Hey,
Look bad.
You won the fight.
It looks worse than it is.
Isn't it weird?
It's all worth
because when you win a fight, I mean, I've been like that. I've looked like that multiple times. When you win, you literally don't care. If you lose, it's like, motherfucker.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because I would have to be like this, and that's the tough thing about this sport. It's like someone's gonna lose, and it's like, man, it's just so hard, you know. It's like I feel for Calvin, you know, because he's dealing with the same thing. He went home with one check, and then it's like he has his family, his girlfriend, whatever it is, you know what I mean? He has the same type of stuff. We're trying to accomplish the same thing as well. So it's a brutal sport.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm sure that there was no bad blood or anything like that. That was just pure competitiveness at the weekend. I just want to congratulate, excuse me, mate, what a fight. That was absolutely sensational. I mean, you bring it every time. You know, everyone knows that the way you fight it's very straightforward. You come to fight, simple as that. You know what I mean? And you swing, you got great wrestling, conditioning through the roof. But that was something special. Now, of course, on the microphone, you're saying, you know, you're calling for a title fight. And rightly so. because I always say if you don't make the most of those moments, then you're wasting an opportunity. But there is, other contenders at 145. I don't want to move past that just yet, but yeah, what do you think is going to be next for you? I'm getting ahead of the conversation here, but still, fuck it. I'll commit to the question.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I think I should get I believe I should be next in line for a title fight. I know we have Volkanovski and Holloway fighting in 2 weeks. The people in front of me, they both fought the guys at the top. They're great fighters, but like I've been saying, we need some new blood in the division. And man, I think I'm next.
Yeah. Who do you think wins the next one between Volkanovski and Holloway? I mean, obviously, as we know, 2-0 Volk so far, but very, very close fights. This is why when I started asking you about that, I was like, shit, because I wanted to focus more on your fight on Saturday night. I don't just want to skim past that so quickly, but we've gone down that rabbit hole. We're going to do a U-turn in a minute, Josh. You're going to see the way I navigate this interview. You're going to be very impressed.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. They're great fighters. They're some of the best featherweights of all time. Volkanovski won the first one decisively. The second one was such a close fight. It could have went either way. People say it's a little controversial, but I think this third one is going to kind of solidify who is the better out of the two of them. And it's definitely a fight I'm looking forward to. I'm a fan of the UFC and MMA, and so I watch a lot of the fights. So I come for this fight, and I'm going to be there in Vegas.
Nice. And if you could pick one of those to be the title fight, stylistically, who would you prefer?
Yeah, and it's tough, because it's like I never want someone to, like I said, lose, because we're all trying to accomplish the same thing. But I think Volkanovski and I match up really well stylistically. I think him and I are so similar, and for once I would actually be taller than somebody by a little bit.
Nice. And that always comes in handy. Anyway, let's go back to that fight Saturday night, because I want to talk about that, because we were just talking about it as you joined there. I had you clearly winning that fight 3-2, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that because you're on here. I said that to my wife at the time when I was watching it. And of course, that was kind of the scorecards. Well, you were declared the winner. How confident were you, though, that you were going to get your hand raised? Because these days, it's the judging, they make mistakes, don't they?
Yeah, no, I definitely thought I thought I won a unanimous decision. I even thought I won 4-1, but at the end of the day, I was like, hey, let's just throw them another round. But so we're like, okay, 3-2, it's still unanimous. And then when the scorecards came out and it was, I know it was going to go split decision, I was like, come on, don't do it to me. I thought I get catered the fourth round. I thought I won 1, 2, and 3, and 5. But yeah, he's so tough. And that's one of the things that the guy is just a dog. Like, I hit him with some hard shots, and typically people wouldn't be standing there. And instead of him just like trying to reset, he was marching forward. So I have nothing but respect for him, and I always have. I knew it was going to be a challenging fight, and but I came to win, and that was the only option for me, is winning. And I'm grateful and happy for the performance, and of course such a big win over such a accomplished fighter.
Yeah, and I think you worded it as you came to win. Of course you did, but there was always, for the most part, a lot of forward pressure on your half. You were pushing the fight, you were pushing the pace. Of course, Calvin was doing his bit as well. But I do think that, because I think on the numbers it was very close, wasn't it? But I do think your punches were doing more damage. You were definitely swinging to knock his goddamn head off with every shot, which is what I love about you. But again, the forward pressure, the octagon control, the aggression, that does all factor into it.
Yeah, of course. Like, I think our strike count was like pretty similar. We were almost like matched the whole time, or even. And but like they were saying, the significant strikes, like he has a phenomenal jab. He was touching me with that jab, but it really didn't do a whole lot. You know what I mean? Where I was really trying to throw strikes that were going to end the fight if they connected and landed. And I did connect a lot, but he just kept coming forward. And I think that kind of, like DC and Cruz were saying in the on the commentating team. Like every time I hit him, he would go back. I hit him so many times and he like fell into the cage. Whereas he connects with me, maybe just my head snaps back a little bit.
How much of the training camp was, countering the jab or defeating the jab, parrying the jab, slipping the head movement, all the rest of it? Because that is, and it's not just him, it's Rob Font as well, that their primary weapon almost is the jab, and they use it so well. It's fast, it's accurate. How much of the training camp was geared around defeating the jab?
Yeah, it was just striking. I knew he was a great striker. He had a great jab, just like you said, with Font and Cater, and they have a relatively high output. But man, I can box, man. I spar one of my good friends, Ruben Torres, that's a really good boxer out of Sacramento, and then but it's not boxing. Like if I put on boxing gloves, then you guys will see me just running combos and shelling up, and the gloves won't get through there. I'll just sit in the pocket and throw 3-5 piece combinations and keep the punches coming in bunches. But we have to be a little careful with those small gloves because they sneak through the guard, and if you get clipped with one good shot, that can completely that can change the outcome of the fight. And but yeah, it was just, I always have to put myself in danger, and because I'm shorter than everybody, so I have to use my head movement. I close the distance really well, and I have to get in the firefight. Like I literally have to put myself in danger in order to land those big shots. And I knew after feeling Cater's like his jab and stuff, and like I got his timing down. He was, I'm willing to take one or two of those punches to trade or land one of my big power shots.
Yeah, of course. Listen, jabs, if you deliver a good straight jab, you can generate a lot of power. That said, it's never going to compete with someone that's swinging hard fucking hooks. You can knock someone down. You can even knock somebody out with a jab. But compared to a hook from somebody like yourself, they don't even compare. So do you take a lot of inspiration from somebody like Mike Tyson? Because of course that's probably cliched. You are a shorter guy, as you mentioned, a lot of head movement, fast feet. I'm assuming have you studied Mike Tyson, the way that he trained and things like that?
Yeah, no, of course. That's always been like one of my favorite boxers of all time, Mike Tyson. And he was short for the heavyweight division, and just his head movement and getting inside and ripping the body, set up those big, right uppercut or those overhands or hooks and stuff like that. I'm a huge fan of Canelo Alvarez, too, one of my, current favorite boxers of all time. I've been a fan of him forever. So, I definitely I like the guys that get inside and make it a fight and go for those big knockouts.
Do you watch a lot of boxing? Sorry, go ahead.
And I would go to some of these gyms. My coach Joey takes me to these boxing gyms and stuff like that, and they call me White Tyson.
It's pretty good. I like it. So you watch a lot of boxing?
I do like boxing when I can, especially I got back into it over during the pandemic, when Top Rank was running all those shows. Man, I love boxing. And I thought I wasn't gonna get in the UFC. I thought it was, I was so close so many times, and then my boxing coach were like, "Hey, let's just, let's go pro as a boxer and just kind of go that route." And then it ended up I got the call. So
were you? I thought you were a wrestler first. You were. Yeah. I just thought you were a wrestler, but you've always had an ability with the hands. Is that something you think you want to do one day? As we know, there's Jake Paul. No disrespect, you're a shorter guy. You fucking fit. You fit the description perfectly. He needs a smaller guy who doesn't weigh as much that wants to box. Would you take the fight?
Oh yeah, hands down, I would. And I would actually box. I'd work the body. I would box. I wouldn't load up, and it wouldn't look like an MMA fight. That's for sure. But yeah, no, I would love to, especially those crossover, and there's so much money involved in it. And that's one of the main reasons why I fight. I just feel like I'm good at it. And, I'm trying to just set up like my family and stuff for the future. So of course, 100% I'd fight anyone in a big boxing match, any weight class, as long as I got one of those big paydays.
Are you a family man, Josh? You got kids?
We don't have kids. My wife and I are like ones out of all our friends that don't have kids.
Well, you're lucky. Enjoy it while it lasts.
And we see how hard it is. That was always the plan 5 years ago, and then it's like we got to where we're at now, and we know in the next few years we do not want kids, but we also don't want to wait too long to where we have any type of regrets. But we're constantly revisiting that discussion. Like frequently, it seems like.
I don't want to hear about the discussion. Save that for the bedroom, please. No, listen, mate, you're doing the right thing. It's so hard. You know, I mean, you know what this takes as a career. I don't need to explain to you. And when children come along, of course, it's just, I don't want to say a distraction because that's almost like it's a negative word. It's a beautiful thing, but still being a fighter, you got to be almost selfish, you know, and as you know.
My wife says that all the time. And it's like, I can't say no to people. I'm always saying yes, doing things. And she's like, you can't do that. Like, you have to be selfish, like, just like what you're saying. And, yeah, it's tough. We have godchildren, we have nephews. We see how hard it is. Trust me, all of our friends have like multiple kids, and we're like, we can be the fun uncle and aunt and like have fun with them. But then we give them
pick them up.
We're like, we're going out
put
for
them
a drink.
down.
Yeah, we're like, we're going out for a drink, and then we're like, if we watch them for the weekend, we're like, oh shit, we're not ready for this.
So what do you think was the main contributor to the damage on the face? I mean, obviously it was a 5-round fight, so there was a lot of blows landed. But do you remember what was the one shot in particular? I'm trying to think. I think there was one that opened up the big cut on your eye. Have you had a chance to watch it back yet?
Yeah, I actually watched it this morning. But I remember the cut on my eye. It was kind of like the side of the glove. It just grazed my eye, and that was in the first round, like the first I don't know, towards the first.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then it opened up, and then he just kept targeting that. You know, it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and then it was bleeding. The more I was sweating, I felt like it was just leaking. And then, that's about it. He was accurate. You know, he has a great jab. He's long with his jab, and he just kept peppering that same damn eye. It didn't hurt, but the cut man, after a while, he was like, man, start protecting that eye. I'm like,
oh, really?
I didn't realize how bad it was until afterwards. Then it was just like, you know, split open.
Yeah, I was going to say it's never a good idea a good sign when the cut man is starting to get concerns like, shit, you got to start protecting this eye, kid. What the hell?
Then the ref came in like before the 5th round. He came in, you know, and I was like, oh no. So the first thing I said is like, oh, yeah, I'm good. And he's like, let me look at the eye. I'm like, oh, it's good. But he let me continue because I saw they stopped the fight early night from a cut, and man, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, no. You just took me back because it's nerve-wracking, isn't it? When the referee we're going to bring the doctor, and you're like, I'm fine. They're like, listen, dickhead, you don't get a say in this. We're gonna decide if you're fine. Oh my god. So you're saying you want to fight for the belt? Of course, you're on a 5-fight win streak. Some tremendous fights. You good? What are you getting there, Josh? Coffee, water, beer.
No, my wife, she's like I said, we have dinner at 5 o'clock. So she was just calling the Uber. So I was going to walk down the hallway, but I don't want to.
No. You got to get going. Well, just real quick. If a title fight doesn't materialize, who would you settle for?
Man, I don't know. It's like, I'm telling you, I want to fight for the title. I feel like it's my time. It's our time. I want my shot. I just need the opportunity. So, you know, I'm sticking to that until I get it.
Well, the fights that you've delivered, you should get it. I mean, that fight against Shane Burgos, one of my all-time favorites. Absolutely unbelievable. Where are you headed for dinner, Josh?
We're actually going to Sushi by Scratch. It's the Joe Rogan recommended it.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to go check that out. We heard it's like a phenomenal place. It's like 40 minutes away. So we'll be a little
shit.
late. But,
well, you got to get out of here then.
It's all good.
You got to get out. Well, listen, thanks for stopping by last minute. And I know you're very busy. Your face is still black and blue. So we really appreciate it, Josh. Nice to talk to you for a few minutes. All the best.
All right, cool. Thanks, Bisping.
All right, man. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, you have a good one. Take care.
All right, man. Enjoy the sushi.
I will. All right, bye, buddy.
All right. There he is, Mr. Josh Emmet, off for some sushi. Tremendous fight Saturday night. I mean, who else is there at the featherweight division ahead of him right now? I mean, of course, we do have Volkanovski and Holloway. Who else? Who are the top contenders now? He just beat Cater. Who is there, Harrington?
Rodriguez and Ortega are going to square off on Long Island.
Of course. I was trying to think. I knew there was a big fight happening. Yeah, I wanted to ask him about that and a few other things, but he's got to have dinner because we tried to make this happen at 3 p.m. He's like, which is 5 p.m. Texas time. He's like, yeah, we got dinner reservations at 5. So he squeezed us in there. So thank you very much, Josh Emmet. Real quick, I want to tell you about BetterHelp. What is BetterHelp? Well, they offer professional counseling done securely online. So if you feel that there's something bothering you, something weighing on your mind, some kind of issue, temper, addiction, substance abuse, insecurity, crippling anxiety, whatever it is, Speaking to somebody will help. Speaking to a licensed professional will definitely help. Trust me. I've been there, done it. And that is what BetterHelp offer. Listen, you don't have to sit in traffic, drive across to the other side of town. You don't have to sit in there in a waiting room or anything like that. No, with BetterHelp, once you sign up, you will get matched with your own licensed professional therapist who you can communicate with in just under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online, and BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches. So what does that mean? It means, well, if you're not vibing, if you think your counselor, your therapist is a bit of a dick, you don't feel comfortable talking to him, you can switch it just like that. So very, very easy, very, very convenient. And now, of course, with our code, it's a little bit cheaper as well. All you got to do is go to betterhelp.com/believe, betterhelp.com/believe, and you will get 10% off your first month. One more time, betterhelp.com/believe. Speak to somebody. So anyway, there he is, Josh Emmet. Yeah, I mean, you see the state of his face. Jesus Christ. That's why, and it sounds like I'm lecturing and trying to put fighters on a pedestal when I say it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Look at that. Josh Emmet is tough as fuck. He's as tough. I love watching him fight, by the way. I wasn't sounding like an ass kisser when I said that fight versus Shane Burgos. What a goddamn war that was. But look at that. Look at what you have to look like afterwards. You know what I mean? And these days, I'm not trying to get into a whole conversation about it, but so many people want to jump on the bandwagon, YouTubers, etc. It's not for everyone. The best in the world end up looking like that. But anyway, thank you, Josh. Can't wait to see you back in there. What do you think is going to happen there, Harrington, in the featherweight division? Obviously, Holloway, Volkanovski. You think the winner of Yair and Ortega fights Josh and then number one contender?
Well, I think the bar was just set, honestly, right? Because I don't think they're going to do Holloway versus Volkanovski again for a long time after this one, right? So
well, certainly if Volkanovski wins, I can't imagine they'll ever do that fight again. And that's, I'm the biggest fan of Max Holloway. Do you know what I mean? But when you lose to someone 3 times, it's like, come on,
Yeah, bring on the quadrilogy. It does get a little ridiculous after a while. But so I would say, like I said, the bar's been set right there. Ortega and Yair, one of them would need to jump over that, I think, to steal that number one contender spot. Right now, Emmett's got to be in the catbird seat, no?
What is he ranked right now? I mean, I know
he was number 7. Cater was number 4, so you assume he's going to jump up to number 4.
So he's right then. He's right there. So he did the right move. Anyway, well done, Josh Emmet. Can't wait to see you back in there. Kevin Holland, co-main event. I mean, how good did he look? I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, since he dropped down to 170, it was the first fight that he had. I forget now. It was the first fight. It was at the pay-per-view earlier this year. Anyway, who cares? Against Tim Means. Listen, Tim Means has been around for a long time. Looked, he connected a few times. But it's called a fight. You know what I mean? You don't go in the rain without getting wet. And then Kevin just started taking over. He looked fast. He looked deadly. His kicks were fast. And the jiu-jitsu on this man. Do you know what I mean? He locked up that Doris choke. Like, it was just second nature. And I guess that's the benefit of having arms that long. In fact, let me just look that up. Go on, you just talk a second, Harrington. I just want to see how long his bloody arms are because they do look long.
So just a little bit of cleanup. Kevin Holland, his first fight was Kyle Dawkins. That ended in the accidental clash of heads. So a no contest there, but he got the win over Alex Oliveira before the Tim Means win here.
Yeah. That's what I said at the last pay-per-view. 81-inch reach at welterweight. 81 at welterweight. No wonder he can lock up those Darce chokes. Such an advantage in terms of strikes as well, jabs, all the rest of it. The man's excited. The man is very, very excited. I'm telling you, he said he's going to be a champion one day. I mean, it's a tough division, but he's a star. There is no question about it. Kevin Holland is a goddamn star. The way he talks, the way he fights, the way he handles himself. He's a cool customer. He's fan-friendly. He's good-looking. He's ripped as fuck. He never has a shirt on. And he's stopping crimes. I mean, where would the world be right now if that $12.99 bottle of aftershave did not get returned to the shelves? The world would be in disarray.
Yeah, I mean, balance sheets would be undue. The corporate heads of CVS would be rolling and be all to do.
Oh, my God.
And the other side of it, he's only 29 years old.
Yeah, 29, still a young man. Still a long career ahead of him. I didn't know he was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He said that Saturday night under Travis Luter, which Travis is no joke. You know what I mean? So that's legitimate to be a black belt under him. I didn't know that. I knew he had a background in Kung Fu, and that's kind of what got him started on his martial arts journey. But I didn't know he was a BJJ black belt. So when you put that with everything else that he's got, all those natural attributes, the height, the length, and the fucking swagger, you know, in life and in the cage. And when chasing down would-be criminals. I mean, it's unreal. No wonder the man got yet another bonus. I mean, what was it, Was it 2020? I think that was the year he had 5 fights. And so far, I think that was his second. Because he was saying, I want to have 5 fights again. I'll maybe even beat that. I don't think he's going to do that, but he is going to probably earn a lot of money. He's very marketable. I mean, Kevin Holland, I mean, he's already a star, but he could be a mega star if he continues to win, puts on those kind of fights, keeps on thwarting thieves, saving children, taking down gunmen, for fuck's sake. You know, we're talking about the perfume. Fuck the perfume. Saving. So what happened? A car was on fire?
Yeah, there was an overturned car that was in flames. He jumped in there and helped the driver out.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And then tell me the instance with the gun.
So I do not know all the details on this, but what I do know is a guy walked into a restaurant with a gun. Not sure if shots were fired or not, but I know that Kevin Holland made it so that everybody got home safe that night.
That's amazing. That is, I mean, and that's real bravery as well. So well done, Kevin Holland. All jokes aside. Yeah, so he got a bonus Saturday night, and I think it was a record setting bonus giveaway, right?
550,000 in bonuses with 11 awarded. Every single finish on the card, all 9 of them got a bonus. And Emmet versus Cater, fight of the night, picked up another 2.
That's awesome. It is. That's amazing. So do you know who the 9 were? Oh, sorry, the 11. Obviously the main event, Kevin Holland, Yanez, who's joining shortly. Go on, give me the list.
Joaquin Buckley, Gregory Rodriguez, Jeremiah Wells, Ricardo Ramos, Cody Stamen, Phil Hawes, and Roman Delice.
Ah, nice. God bless him. God bless him on an extra 50K. Must be nice. Well earned as well, might have you.
2 weeks in a row from Dana, by the way. Every finish on the card gets an extra 50K.
What did he say? 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, he did it last week at the pay-per-view in Singapore, too. Every single finish on the card got an extra 50K.
He did. For some reason, I was thinking about the London one, but you're right. I was there in Singapore. He did. Every finish got it. In London, every finish got a bonus. And now he did it again. Hey, I mean, come on. If you're a fighter right now, you're hoping that is the new trend.
So what he said was it's not set in stone that this is going to be the UFC's policy going forward. He was just in a very good mood the last couple of weeks because the cards have been incredible. Everything about it's been awesome. But you got to assume if you're a UFC fighter, you're hunting for that finish a little extra hard this weekend. No?
Yeah, yes and no. You're always looking for the finish. You know what I mean? Always. No one. I've said it a million times. Nobody's planning on going to a decision. Because I remember when I first found out that I was going to have that kind of bonus at stake. Like when I first signed with the UFC back in 2005, it was 12-12. And I was happy just to be getting fucking that. And then afterwards, after you weigh in, they pull all the fighters to one side. And then they say, right, listen. And this and that now it's known. Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows there's 50K on display for the performance of the night. Do you know what I mean? But this wasn't well known back then. And the sport wasn't anywhere near as big as what it was. The fucking prelims didn't even get aired on TV. Do you know what I mean? It was
they
crazy.
were on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't even know where they were, but they weren't on TV. That's a fact. And I remember he said, we'll give you 30K to the best fight of the night, the best knockout of the night, and the best submission of the night. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, that's great. And then Rory Singer, who was on the Ultimate Fighter, goes, Dana, fuck it, make it 40. And he goes, okay, 40. So then I chirped up like a dickhead, make it 50. He's like, I just made it 40. Okay. All right. So, calm down, Michael. Calm down. But yeah, no, I mean, that's real fucking money when it's certainly when you're starting your career. I mean, obviously, as you go further up the ladder and you become a well-established fighter, but it's just the reality of it. 50K is great. You always want the bonus, you know what I mean? But it's not going to be life-changing. But when you're an early fighter, when you're new to the UFC, that is without question life-changing money. So it's beautiful. I love that. And you know why? And this will sound like a Dana arse kisser. It's not. He's a fucking fan. He's a fight fan. Do you know? He is. Trust me. You see the amount of fights that he's been to, and you want to see his fucking reactions at the side of them. You know, when you're in the Apex or the pay-per-views, wherever it is, he's a fan first. You know what I mean? So if they deliver like that, then fuck it, he'll deliver as well.
I was going to ask you, did you by any chance see his Instagram live during the Glover versus Geary fight?
I did not know.
It's literally him in a UFC production truck with the thing going behind him, just freaking out, getting super red faced, and it's like you can see he's as big a nerd for this as you know, just like me, the idiot on the couch at home. So it was a lot of fun to watch.
No, for sure. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff to get through. Kevin Holland, well done to everyone on the card that fought. Adrian Yanez will be joining us any minute now. So hold on. My eyes are so bad, man. It's these fucking contact lenses. They drift, they turn, and I only have one eye. So when it turns, it gets very blurry. So I'm struggling to see things because of my contacts. I'm waiting on my new delivery. We have Yanez joining us in about 10 minutes. Well done to everyone on the card. But we'll get into some of these notes. So some of this news. Kevin Holland, we did that one. Jose Aldo, Merab Dvalishvili, that's going to be on UFC 278. Zabit is officially retired. I mean, Zabit, the Magomed Sharipov, who knows what he could have achieved. Jessica Andrade is moving back up to 125. Mike Perry versus Michael Venom Page. Did we not talk about that last week, Harrington?
Did we? We did? All right, that's my mistake. I'm sorry. All right.
Oh, Jesus. This is what I have to put up with, ladies and gentlemen. Yuri has a new haircut.
Shame.
You'll see that Yuri has a new haircut. He hasn't got a new haircut.
Yeah. Well,
he has not.
He got rid of the old haircut.
He completed his haircut.
Wait, so that's what it is?
Well, I don't know what it is. He's just chopped off the ponytail.
Yeah. Now
that's not a new. He's got a scone head.
Okay, if I showed up, right, with the Yuri ponytail, right, on top of my head right now, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a massively different haircut. So the same is true the opposite way. If you remove the ponytail.
Yeah, but this is oh god, the notes need work. I mean, that's it. I do want to hear about this one though. Tell me about this one, number 8. This one sounds like it might have a little bit of meat on the bone. And of course, I'm not trying to mention the Logan brothers for clicks, but this I am intrigued. Pray tell.
Okay, so Logan Paul went on a pretty popular podcast over the weekend, and he told a story about when he was hanging out in a New York nightclub. He was at some party with some friends. Dillon Danis showed up, and all of a sudden, Dillon Danis's crew gets into it with Logan Paul's crew, and guns were drawn in a Manhattan nightclub on one of Logan Paul's friends.
Yeah, so I was going to say, so someone in Dillon Danis' crew, because when you say guns were drawn, that sounds like a bloody standoff. Do you know what I mean? One dickhead pulled a gun out, I'm assuming, right?
One idiot pulled out a gun.
From Dillon Danis' crew.
Mm-hmm. And he threatened a member of Paul's crew.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. I do lives on the YouTube channel. Go on, Bri.
The best part about this interview here is that it says, Logan Paul says, in quotes, he's one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world. About Dillon Danis.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Yeah, well, Logan Paul doesn't know his ass from his fucking elbow either when it comes to jiu-jitsu, does he? Let's be honest. Dillon Danis is very good at jiu-jitsu. He's submitted some people. You can't deny that. I'm not saying that.
He's just not better than a baker.
He got choked out by a chocolatier. Let's remember that. No. Do you know what? He's just trouble, isn't he? That's all I deduce from that, from Logan Paul telling that story. And by the way, Logan Paul seems all right, to be honest. I don't listen to his podcast, but now and again, when you're scrolling YouTube, it comes up and I'll listen to it for a minute and I see a few clips. Logan seems all right, and I'm sure Jake's all right as well, just doing his thing. But what was I saying? Yeah,
Dylan's a problem.
Well, he's a fucking troublemaker. That's what this looks like. Do you know what I mean? Pulling, rolling in with his friends with guns and pulling a fucking gun out. I mean, that's just ridiculous. People do get shot and killed. Do you know what I mean? So they're not fucking toys. Should not be thinking about it like that. But more so to the point, anytime Dillon Danis' name is involved or anytime he's somewhere, he's getting into trouble. He's starting trouble because he's trying to masquerade as something that he's not. He wants to be known for being tough, for being the badass. And it's just so pathetic. When I was younger, I'm talking young, 16, 17, that's how I wanted to be. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, you go into a place and you want to be the tough guy and you want to scope it out. And if there was anyone else that looked like they could have a fight or whatever, you'd be like, yo, what's up, motherfucker? I did not talk like that. Definitely from Clitheroe. It'd be more like, what you looking at, you dickhead? More like that, right? But it's pathetic, immature, childish. But a lot of young men, certainly highly fueled on testosterone, go through those kind of phases. But it doesn't last long. Dillon Danis, I don't know how old he is, but what the hell is this guy doing? Do you know what I mean? He can step into a cage and fight in Bellator and prove for real if he's tough. Going out starting fights, I mean, he got slapped off Ali Abdelaziz at UFC 268. I mean, that was just embarrassing for him. Now his buddies are pulling fucking guns on Logan Paul. I mean, I was just saying before Brian jumped on, that he jumps on my lives all the time and talks shit on the live. He does a super chat. He'll donate like $5 or $10 just to say some shit. And he'll say some shit about Rebecca. Do you know what I mean? Thinking that's going to, I don't give a fuck. He's like pretending that, him and Rebecca are having an affair or something like that. So, all right, Dillon. Oh, you really got me. Rebecca, tell me, please, are you and Dillon Danis having an affair? No, she doesn't like weasels, okay? But yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
He pays you for the privilege to insult you? I mean, God bless him. That's I wish I had it that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean, Mike? You get paid to be insulted.
You do. Oh, God, that's the best one yet, Brian.
All right, that
is the best. Brian and the one-liners. All right, real quick, I just want to tell you about Backbone. What is Backbone? Well, it's a device that will essentially turn your mobile phone, your cell phone, your Apple phone, your iPhone, whatever it is, turns your phone into a state-of-the-art gaming device because it turns it into essentially like a PS5 controller, okay? It just clips in, connects to the phone, and it's unbelievable. Honestly, it really is. I got sent one of these. I love it. My son loves it. And to quote my son, he said, Dad, I've used a lot of these. None of them work very well. This one works perfectly. And it really does. Honestly, let me tell you, it is unbelievable. Simply plug your phone into the Backbone and enjoy console quality controls with responsive buttons and triggers, clickable analog sticks, and more as you play Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and App Store games. And if you don't own a console, no problem. You can stream. This is very cool. You can stream hundreds of games like FIFA, Halo, Minecraft, and many, many more through the cloud gaming services like Xbox Game Pass, Nvidia GeForce Now, and Google Stadia. And if you already have a PlayStation, Xbox, or a PC, you can play the games that you own with Remote Play or the Steam Link app. Listen, if you're a gamer, get yourself a Backbone. If you're standing there and you're still using the touchscreen, like some kind of weirdo, what are you even doing with your life? You should be ashamed of yourself. No, all seriousness, this device is incredible. You will not regret it. It is a solid purchase and it's a pretty good goddamn deal. So all you got to do right now is go to playbackbone.com/believe right now to order your Backbone. Until June 30th, you will get free access to over 350 console games and perks, including 1 month free of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, 1 month free of Apple Arcade, 2 months free of Google Stadia Pro, and 3 months free of Discord Nitro. Come on, what more do you want? Find your next adventure at playbackbone.com/believe. And I'm telling you right now, this thing gets the Michael Bisping seal of approval. I love it. It's fantastic. And you will love it too. Playbackbone.com/believe. Anyway, give us a Father's Day non-MMA story, if you can, Harrington, because it was Father's Day, and thank you very much for the message, and I hope all you proper dads out there had a proper amazing day. This is not brought to you by Proper 12 either. Proper is a word that we use in everyday language, and then now anytime I say proper, Proper 12, no, proper knobhead, fuck off. Give us a story, Harrington.
Okay, so there is a gentleman, he's originally from America, but he's living in the UK right now. He was an online sperm donor right? He sent out, I mean, there is 160 kids.
You messed up the
walking
delivery
around.
of this story.
Okay. I don't know the delivery.
No. The delivery you should have left that. You should have said a guy on Father's Day. He has 180 kids. Do you know what I mean? But you started with that. He's an online sperm donor. Yeah, because the clickbait got me. Do you know what I mean? That's when I looked at it, it was like 160 fucking kids. Is it 160 or 80?
I believe it's 180.
100, either 60 or 80.
160. You're right. 160.
Right, 160 children. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, what the hell? I mean, listen, there's, I've known some shaggers in my time. Do you know what I mean? I've known some people to put it about. I know guys that have multiple kids to multiple mothers, but 160, that's taking it to the next level. Is that even possible? Do you know what I mean?
Well, Will Chamberlain famously said that in his lifetime he slept with 10,000 women. So, if he got like 10% of those to stick, he could hit those numbers.
Is this a video, Brian? Is it just what he looks like?
This is just what he looks like. This guy's not Will Chamberlain. Also, also Adrian is here.
Yeah. Oh, Adrian. Oh, God damn. I really wanted to get into this one. We want to talk about sperm being stuck into people like Harrington. Adrian Yanez, look at this. Not only is this man a sensation in the bantamweight division, but he knows. You can tell you're of a certain generation. When you show up to a podcast, you're blacked out. You're looking like the cover of Bohemian Rhapsody, right? You got the fucking headphones. You're in a gaming chair. Are you in a gaming chair?
Yeah. Bought off of Amazon and everything, man. No, I didn't expect, I was like, man, you know what? After I got on, I was like, man, I shouldn't have wore a black shirt because I'm pretty sure it's just gonna look like a floating Mexican head just floating around, So I was like, damn.
You do look like a floating Mexican head. You know what I mean? But it's okay. It's a good looking head, and look at that. I mean, is that a little bit of swelling on the eye, and that's about it?
Yeah, nah, the headbutt was what cut me, so I got stitches in my eye, man. So that's the part that sucks.
Son of a bitch. An illegal clash of heads or a accidental clash of heads, or do you think it was a headbutt?
Man, I think it was the guy just kind of just charges in. He does a blitz, and I think right in between I got a little bit overzealous and wanted to try to put him to sleep immediately, and just ended up getting clashed of heads. And then after that, I was like, I knew immediately, but it was one of those that it didn't bleed straight off the bat. It just took a second. And then after we broke off from the clinch, I was like, oh, it started pouring down. I was like, oh, damn it. All right.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Who cares? We'll get into the fight in a little bit. I just spoke to Josh Emmet a little bit ago. I got way ahead of myself in the interview. I started talking about what he wants next as opposed to talking about the fight first or whatever. Amateur hour moves, Adrian Yanez. There was a lot of bad blood coming into this one. Can you explain? Because I saw a little bit of a headline of his xenophobic comments about the Brazilians. But yeah, talk me through what happened fight week. Did you guys bump into each other a few times?
Man, you know what? I didn't bump into him until weigh-ins, the day of the ceremonial weigh-ins. And here's the thing: is that I've talked I can't sit here and be like the media asked me a question. I'm gonna say what I feel every single time they ask me a question. I'm not gonna try to scoot away from around it, but also every time I've answered, I've always been like, man, look, I give him a little bit of leeway because he's cornering his girlfriend as long as his girl is significant other. Of course, any time that you're man, I'm telling you right now, if I'm seeing my girlfriend get punched in the face, my heart rate is gonna be up. I'm gonna be fired up. I'm getting to the corner. I'm gonna be going nuts.
Punches my girlfriend in the face. I'm buying that guy a beer. Fucking needed it. I'm telling you. She needs to know her place. I'm kidding. I'm gonna say that. Domestic violence is bad. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, but man, I get it. I get why he gets so animated, but I also would say is in the interviews, I also look at him sideways if that's the first thing he would go to, but I'd be like, you know what? I do give him a little bit of leeway because, that's a very emotional spot for him to be in. He's kind of being the head coach for his girl and all that stuff, which I get, but he could have gone about it a different way. But and then I would say, the Brazilian fans, of course, they're watching this because they want to see me knock him out. They want to see me knock him out over bigotry and all that stuff. And he just kept watching the clickbait titles that the MMA media would put out there, and then just he took it and ran with it and was talking mess at weigh-ins. He comes in overweight, starts trying to talk shit, and I was like, bro, next time just make weight, like make weight, then you can start talking shit. And that's whenever he blew up. And then even at ceremony weigh-ins, he waited for me in the back and was like trying to get past security to talk to, like, at least talk to me or something. Tried talking to me, and then he, at the end of it, he was just kind of just like, I was talking shit, and I was like, bro, you called me a Wish version of Masvidal, bro. Like, no, go fuck yourself, bro. Like, go fuck yourself. And then he said something else along the lines. Then he was like, we shook hands, and then he was like, I'm still coming after you tomorrow. And I just pretty much just said, bro, I don't care. I'm still knocking you the fuck out. I don't care. And that's pretty much how that went. And then I saw his walkout. I saw everything else, and I was like, I just don't like this guy.
Yeah, well, not only did you also knock him out, you got a $50,000 bonus fight, performance of the night bonus, and you got 20% of his purse as well. So, you know, I mean, I have nothing invested in this, but they do say he who laughs last laughs loudest. And yeah, congrats, man. Talk me through the fight.
Man, so immediately I honestly thought he was going to come out completely differently than what he did. I felt like he took the back foot way too, like, I felt like I controlled the middle way too easy without any pushback, because I thought I was going to get pushback immediately. But he came back and just was off on the back foot, which completely surprised me. I don't know if that was just like because he was scared of the power immediately, or like before even walking in, or what, but he just was on the back foot, and I was controlling the center. And then next, you know, he starts throwing kicks, and I saw everything. And then next thing you know, he throws one kick, and then just starts talking shit to me in the middle of the cage. Like, you keep bringing up that Brazilian stuff. And I just stayed focused at walking him down. I countered one of his kicks, and he tried to be like, oh, that didn't hurt. Like, it touched his face and all that. And then he threw more combinations and still kept talking. And then I hit him with one check hook off the parry. He threw a kick. I parried. I hit the check hook. And after that one, he just stopped talking completely and just like kind of just like, oh shit. I was like, oh yeah, that's
always a good sign.
Yeah, I was like, that's the one. And then we started going a little bit more, and I rocked him again. Then we clinched up in the fence, and then once we broke off the clinch, I felt the blood coming down my face. And he threw like a double jab, cross jab, and I just skated around back and controlled the center again. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted, it got into a little bit of a slugfest for me, a little bit too much. I stayed in the pocket, but if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have got that shot that I landed on him, the one that really hurt him. And that was the finishing sequence. After that, I just kept picking my shots, wanted to be technical, not over rush it and everything. So I just wanted to keep my distance, and man, got the finish.
And what a finish it was, and nothing new for you, Adrian. I mean, the finishes are coming thick and fast. I mean, 6 fights for the promotion now, 5 of those by way of knockout. I mean, it's unbelievable. And with respect, generally, guys at bantamweight, you know, they're not the knockout artists, but you truly do have. I mean, you are a knockout artist. You have knockout power, and of course, a lot of technique as well. Your boxing is, you know, fundamentally beautiful. You know, delivered perfectly. I mean, but what do you attribute your knockout power to?
Man, honestly, there's just a lot of days where I showed up and Coach Saul would just make me do bag work. It was just consistently. I never stopped that. And it was honestly like it was like a routine schedule. And then also too, growing up, my dad always told me like I had heavier hands for someone my size. But I don't know if he was talking about saying someone my size just being a little bit nice about my weight at the time, because I was a little bit fat, but yeah.
You got heavy hands for a fat bastard.
Yeah. So once I dropped the weight, he was like, "Man, once you drop that weight, man, it's gonna sit on you a lot nicer." So, you know, I think I just was a heavy-handed fat kid now, and you know, now that's where the power came from, just being a heavy-handed fat kid.
And now you're a heavy-handed skinny kid.
Yeah, it just stuck with me.
You're in shape. Hey, you mentioned Saul Solis there, and I've got to mention him because, of course, as we know, he passed away last year. And I know it's a very sad thing, so we won't harp on it too much. But he coached me on The Ultimate Fighter, as you probably know. And he spoke about you so fondly and, spoke so highly of you when you were on the Contender. And, what you mentioned there about hitting the bags. A lot of people, that's where you will develop punching power, hitting the bag. It really is. But when I was on The Ultimate Fighter, what a coach, what an experience it was to work with him. And he was just incredible, Yeah,
man. Honestly, he took. So we went to California. I went to California with him 1 year, and he went to go coach Tito Ortiz. I think he was going to fight Stephan Bonner. And I actually was down there at Rain Training Center. So I actually met you way back then.
I remember it. And I rolled with Henna Gracie that day.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Because I remember Solis came up over to me afterwards. So you were with him that day.
Yeah, I was with him. I was a young little kid. Actually, I only had one professional fight at that time. So I walked in with him and met you. And honestly, I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Oh God.
I had no idea what to expect. I was so nervous whenever I walked in. I was like, man, he's probably gonna, from the TV, from that to going to meeting you in person. I was like, man, I hope he's just not a dick to me.
Oh,
I hope he's not a dick. But then it was the complete opposite. You were the sweetest guy there. And I was just like, then it was so funny because as soon as I walked in, you're like, what's up, SA? And I was like,
shit.
That made me feel at home.
This racist motherfucker. What's he doing? Oh shit. Well, rest in peace, Solis. Oh God. Anyway. So what is it? 5 fights, 1 on the Contender. So 6 fights for the promotion, but 5 in the UFC, 4 knockouts, 1 split decision to Davey Grant, who Davey Grant, as you know, of course, you know better. Tough as fuck. Man. Shout out Davey, by the way. I'm one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Oh really man, we went to eat after. We went out to eat afterwards. Yeah, he's such the nicest guy, man. He man, I got genuine love for the guy. I hope I want to see him do great things in this sport, man. I 100% one guy I just want to make sure I want to see him do great things, man. When I saw him in his last fight, he looked phenomenal, man. Looked a lot more technical, a lot more.
Who did he fight again? Remind me.
He fought Luis Smoka.
Oh, that's right. Oh, what a fight that was as well.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, man. So I'm tuning in every single time Davey Grant fights. I just hope I don't see him again because he hits fucking hard. He actually punched me in my throat and I couldn't do any high pitched. I still can't do any high pitched things. I can't yell my woos like how I usually do because
give me a woo. Come on, give me a woo.
I can't. No. Woo. Hold on.
That's not bad.
Nah, it's finally. It would be woo. That's how it used to be. After he had punched me, it fucked me up for a while.
Adrian, do you do a lot of media? I mean, because it looks like you have do you stream and stuff, right, on Twitch? Yeah. It looks like you got the whole setup there.
Yeah, I just started doing my Twitch this year because, man, I just wanted to start connecting a little bit more with my fans and just another form of being able to connect with my fans. Because if it wasn't for them, man, if it wasn't for them, nobody would be watching my fights. I had the fans, the UFC is built around fans, and I just want to be able to connect with them a little bit more because, man, they got me in great spots and I love it, man. That Randy Costa fight showed me a lot more what fans can do because we were on the prelims, probably the second fight to open up the card, and then second fight to open up the card just in general on the prelims. Next thing you know, fans are going crazy for me and him, and then they have us they made enough noise where they put us on the main card opener. So after that it was the fans is where it's at, because if the fans make enough noise, the UFC will hear you, and that's why I was like, man, I got to make sure that I'm connecting with them because they make things happen.
Yeah, well, the reason I said that is because obviously you're a knockout in the octagon, but you're a knockout on a podcast. This is the first time we've had a conversation like this, and you're very good. You know what I mean? You're very, very good, easy to talk to. You got a good sense of humor. So I can see a lot of doors opening for you. Certainly, if you become the champion one day, which I'm sure is the plan. First time fighting in Texas for the UFC, right?
Oh yes. And I've been waiting for well over a year to fight in Texas, man.
You were calling out the Houston card at the time. I know that.
Yeah, man. We were trying to make it happen, and then nothing was falling through. And then there was a possibility for me to fight in February for Houston, but at the time my baby was like about to be born, and I was like, I can't just every other time it was just like I could blame it on the UFC, but not really. Just nothing just worked out right. But that last one in Houston, that one was me. I decided just like I was taking my time off, dealing with everything, and then also trying to be a father, first time father. Spend time with
And
my newborn.
The baby, forgive my ignorance, born in December, right?
Yeah, born in December.
I mean, look at that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Boy or girl, Adrian?
Oh, it's a boy, man. Baby boy. He's a little junior, man. I didn't want it to be a junior, but then whenever we found out he was gonna be a boy, I was like, yeah, a junior sounds nice.
Yeah. No, of course. Come on, man. You got to keep the bloodline going strong. So, as I said, 5 wins in the UFC, 6 for the promotion, 5 knockouts. It's gonna have to be a big name next. Now, I don't know if it was you who said it or someone said Sean O'Malley is probably someone that you're looking at, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I would want that fight. Yeah, because that fight shoots me up. So like that fight shoots me up.
Are you ranked yet?
No, I don't believe
crazy.
I'm ranked. Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
But that's how stacked the bantamweight division is. It's like super stacked. Like man, like and also too, I don't know how it's gonna happen. I either had to have such a great performance like how I did on Saturday. I had to have another one of those again to probably take someone's spot at 15, because I know nobody in the top 15, no one with numbers usually want to fight someone who doesn't have a number next to their name. So that's the hard part of that whole thing. So I had to probably take someone's spot at number 15 and then move my way up. But if it's Sean O'Malley, it's Sean O'Malley. I really want I like I said, I want that fight. And also he just dropped a podcast today, and it's pretty much my name. So I'm like, hey, I think that works. It's like I think that absolutely works for me, man. So I'm here for it.
You never know. What do you think happens with him and Pedro Munoz?
That's a tough fight, man. But he has the range. And I feel like Pedro Munoz. I think because since he's like a little bit shorter, like he's gonna have trouble closing the distance. And I feel like if O'Malley just kind of stays out of range, he can get the win over Pedro. So I think Pedro Munoz is not gonna look good in this fight, because especially it's the reach. But I think it's a tough fight. It's a tough fight for both. But I feel like if you're asking me who's going to win, I'm probably going to go with Sean O'Malley. And
same here. And that's with all respect to Pedro Munoz. But O'Malley, you could say I've bought the hype. He's good, man. He's good. He is tall. He is long, and he knows how to use it. That's the key. A lot of people are tall. They don't fucking utilize it or maximize on it. He does. He's fast as well.
Yeah, he's really, really fast, and he does a really good job of. I think he's gonna use those front kicks up the middle, right at the body, keep him at bay, and just set up his hands right after. So, man, I do definitely see Sean O'Malley getting the win. I don't think he knocks him out. Pedro Munoz has an absolute chin on him. That dude can take a shot. So, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Like even if after this fight, like he wouldn't even want to mention my name because he wants to look forward. So that's also another thing too.
And I get that. I understand it. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately for you, the position you're in is that, you are a knockout artist, and that gets thrown around a lot, but you fucking are. Do you know what I mean? 5 out of 6 wins in the UFC. No, it's just true though. It's facts. It's not even open for debate. And sadly, you don't even have a ranking next to your name. So you're a problem on paper. I'm not saying that you'd beat Sean O'Malley. So if Sean's watching this, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying generally from a fighter standpoint, if you're the manager of a fighter and there's this young kid called Adrian Yanez that's knocking everyone the fuck out and he isn't even ranked, well, he does nothing for you. So you're like, sidestep that motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? Now, as the fighter, fighters feel different. You're like, no, fucking line me up. I'll knock that cunt out. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But managers will be like, no.
Yeah.
You don't want Yanez.
Yeah, no, we're both like that, because I feel like he would want this fight too. Like I feel like he would want it just because I feel like it would be like a stylistically, it would just be a fun matchup just for the fans and everybody. I feel like it'd be an absolute fun matchup. But if he's in it for like how he says he is, like the business and the money, I just don't think it would make sense. Like I don't think there's the risk reward ratio isn't there for him for him to fight me. So I get that 100%.
Yeah, sure. All right, so that's that then. So you're going to be champion of the world one day with the touch of, a bit of good luck. You're going to work your fucking ass off. But hey, listen, good luck goes a long way. And funnily enough, the harder you work, you get. You've heard that one before.
Oh yeah, no, actually, can I tell you just this little story right quick? Because this was
no, please.
Yeah,
we got nothing but time.
Okay.
When you hang up, Harrington and Brian, show yourself. This is who I have to talk to when you go.
Hey. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Adrian, you can stay as long as you want, my brother. And by the way, Harrington, on Twitter, there's a bunch of questions for him. See if you can pick out the best ones and you ask him when we're done. But get off the goddamn screen.
Can I just thank the man for winning me some money this weekend? Thank you, Adrian.
But stop yelling.
You can if you don't yell and your audio is correct.
Sorry.
Okay? Adrian Yanez is the guest. His audio is perfect. His vision is crisp. His delivery is sensational. My God. Go on. Story time with Adrian Yanez.
This is real quick. I think this is right after we came back from California and everything. This is not to kiss your ass whatsoever at all. Okay.
Please.
So like I remember. Like you had just got your fight booked with Luke Rockhold for the title. I remember talking to Saul, and Saul's like, I was like, man, do you see Michael Bisping got the title shot? He's like, yeah, man, he works real hard, man. He's worked really hard, and if anybody can do it, it's him. I was like, man, coach, you know what? He's like, what? I was like, man, Luke Rockhold's been talking about saying how he's gonna knock him out. And if I'm being honest with you, it's like I think Michael Bisping knocks him out.
Ooh.
And he was like, you think so? I was like, yes, because whenever you got a fighter who's looking for the knockout and like they're overly eager for it, they end up getting knocked out. I was like, I trust you. And then night of the fight, and I remember you knocking him out, I immediately texted like, what did I tell you, coach? What did I tell you? He just sends you back like, yeah, you did. I was like, yeah. So I wasn't trying to do that to kiss your ass, but like I just had to get that story out because that was a moment there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
thank you very much. Thanks for sharing that. Saul Solis, man, such a shame what happened. I want to celebrate him. I don't want to talk about, what a shame it was. We don't need to say that. Everybody knows that. It's just so fucking sad. But what a coach. I mean, how instrumental was he to you in you being who you are as the fighter that stands here today?
Really instrumental. It was super instrumental for me because he took me so I was in jiu-jitsu.
Of course, your father as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So at 15 years old, we started training jiu-jitsu, and we found a jiu-jitsu gym that was that I was able to do jiu-jitsu for straight 3 years. I had a fight. I had I was working with my dad a little bit, but my dad was working 7-12s all the time. So he's like hard working man. So we hardly ever got to work with each other. So I didn't get to work with the boxing as much. So I was doing just jiu-jitsu. Had a fight, my first amateur fight. I remember come out and telling my dad, like, I need more because I just have jiu-jitsu, but this is mixed martial arts. I need more. And my dad found Saul. We walked into his gym one day, and next thing you know, we just never left. And that was at 18 years old whenever I met Saul. Fast forward, everything happens with my dad. The person who kept me in the gym and kept me fighting and kept me consistently in the gym by giving me a job and a place to make sure I was there was Saul. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in the position I am today. Him and my dad were good buds and everything. So everything just meshed, and he ended up actually becoming like a father figure to me. Because he didn't have to do any of the stuff that he did, but he did it anyways. And he had this is a big reason why I don't know if it was just because I always told him man, I don't feel like a lot of people give you enough credit. I don't feel like enough people give you enough credit. So whenever I got to the UFC, I told him, I was like, no, I'm gonna give you all the credit in the world. And every single time I got on the mic, I was like, if it wasn't for Saul Solis, I wouldn't be in the position I am today. And that stays true to this day because I still use the same system that he had implemented, same sparring days, same wrestling days, same jiu-jitsu days. Everything is still the same. and still doing the stuff that we do, like all the basics and everything. So like it's still his system, it's still like what I do. And even the new coaches that I got now, like I didn't even stray far. Like I got people who had worked with Saul in Houston, like Eve Edwards. You know, I'm working with Eve Edwards. He's my coach, and then also Michael Chase Corley, the Muay Thai coach, and like those guys worked with Coach. So I was like, yeah, you know. So he was very instrumental, and he still impacts me to this day because I'm still having the same conversation with myself whenever I'm like coaching these other fighters. I'm like, oh, that's the conversation. Like I just remember conversations that we would have, and I was like, that's why you'd be so pissed off at these guys. I got you.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's beautiful, man. It is. And I understand completely. I mean, I only did 2 months with him on The Ultimate Fighter. On season 3, there was Tito Ortiz and Dean Lister. So Tito ran a great camp. Dean, obviously, is a tremendous jiu-jitsu guy. But it was Saul. He was the secret source of that. And I still, to this day, when I'm training people, which doesn't happen very often, let's be honest, but I have done it on occasion, or when I train, which doesn't happen very often. No, but when I was training, though, I still did the same drills that he would show me, and I still structured a camp the same way. And I remember coming off The Ultimate Fighter and going back home to where I was training and saying, we're doing this all fucking wrong. You know, and this is and everyone hated me because they thought, oh, fucking hell. He goes out to America, he thinks he knows it all. I said, well, no, listen, I've learned some shit from some of the best people in the world. No, he truly was a phenomenal coach. What do you do when you're not beating people up and knocking them out cold and changing diapers for your son?
Oh, man, honestly, I just like chilling with my family, man, because whenever I'm not fighting or I'm not, honestly, like I said, man, I go out even the weekends, man. I'm cornering fighters. Like I legitimately took a leader position at my gym. You
run the gym now, right?
I run the fighters program. Like I run the fighter stuff. I don't train the general public, but we do have fighters that almost fight like every month, every other month. So like every weekend, I'm almost like I'm cornering fights. So like I'm surrounded by fighting the whole.
So who coaches you though, Adrian?
I get morning sessions with Michael Chase Corley, a Muay Thai coach, and then also Eve Edwards. I work with Eve Edwards as well.
Eve's been around the block, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so I made sure I at least had people who know what they're doing around me, and then at the night sessions, you know, I get to run everything the same that we've been doing. So, and I got great training partners like Rafion Stotts, you know, Bellator interim champ at 135. So nice. I got great training partners.
What's the name of the gym?
Metro Fight Club at
Metro Fight Club. If you're in there, Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Yes,
H-Town, as it's known, right? See, I got the slang, man. I got the slang. H-Town, baby. What's it called again?
Metro Fight Club.
Metro Fight Club. Get your fucking ass down there. You want to lose a few pounds? You want to be a next contender like Adrian Yanez? Metro Fight Club is the place to be. Tell me a funny story about your childhood. Or something like that, something that you want to share with us before we let you go.
Man,
a little non-octagon Adrian Yanez.
Non-octagon Adrian Yanez, a funny childhood story. Man, I don't.
It's hard when people put you on the spot.
Okay, sorry. So I actually kind of got a good one that actually got my ass kicked. Like I got my ass whipped whenever I went home. So this is the first time I'm telling it, but at the same time, like it's gonna be funny looking back at it. But
anyway, plummeted. Okay. Ever since and Anthony Smith isn't co-hosting this one, so nobody fucking watches. So you're fine. No one's gonna see it.
Man. So whenever I was younger, me and my brother were riding go-karts, riding the go-kart that it was my friend's go-kart. So we're like taking turns going back around the block. Next, you know, my mom and dad, they're like, hey, y'all go inside. We're going to go out to eat. So they went out to eat. We went out to eat. We legitimately listened to what they said. Like 15 more minutes, you know, going back and forth on the go-kart. Me and my brother go inside. And then my brother was like, hey, can you call mom and like let her know that that we don't have any more soap? I was like, okay, yeah, called her. And in my head, I was like, I got a wild hair up my ass and was just like, I'm gonna prank them. And I just told him, I pretty much said that I
don't want to interrupt, but can I ask a question? Why, if you and your brother are on go-karts, why is someone saying we got no more soap in the house?
No, because he went to go. As soon as we went inside, he went to go take a shower.
Oh, sorry.
So,
right,
yeah,
right. Okay.
yeah. So
I'm like, did I miss a bit? I'm like,
no.
I went riding a go kart.
I skipped that part.
Maybe I missed it.
We went inside. We went inside, and he was like, I got to go take a shower. I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, yeah, tell mom there's no more soap. Got wild hair up my ass, or wanted to prank my mom, and the way I did it is like, I started like I was a young kid. I think I was like about 8 years old, and I just immediately was like, all right, I'm gonna tell him we got an accident.
Oh, as you do.
Yeah, I told him we got an accident, and there's like blood everywhere, and I caught myself going down in a whirlwind, and I knew I was fucked whenever I told, like, in my own head I couldn't backtrack. I just kept going with it, and yeah, that's
kind of like me with this podcast. I should really cancel it, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm in it now.
Yeah, no, I was not very after as I was thinking about it, I was like, I'm gonna get like my ass beat so bad, but I just can't stop. And yeah, that didn't end well for me. Like they came home. They came home. My mom was crying. My dad was so pissed off. My brother came out the shower, had the towel around him, and I'm just sitting in the corner just like, oh fuck.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's a small childhood story.
Hey, we all got to get our ass kicked sometimes.
Yeah, no, I definitely deserve that one.
And it makes you the man you are today. Like my dad beat the shit out of me, but we would not be having this conversation had he not have done. And that's a goddamn fact. Where do people find you? I'm assuming you got some high tech, super duper, can't miss Twitch platform.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Twitch at Ninja Yanez MMA. Ninja Yanez just because like I don't know ninja shit, but
fucking are a ninja, man.
Ninja Yanez MMA on Instagram, Adrian Yanez 93, Twitter at Yanez MMA, Facebook. I have a fan page, but I really don't get on it. You can add me as a friend. I might accept you as a friend. So got thousands waiting, but you know
you can make some money on Facebook. Let me tell you, you should start investing in that Facebook following. There's
shit,
money.
Might as well.
You
All
can
right,
monetize it and start making some money. Harrington, before I let you go, you got another quick minute, Adrian?
Yeah, we can go. Yeah.
Harrington might have a few questions from some of the Twitter followers, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to start with the juiciest first. There is some hot gossip about a sparring session or two that may have happened between you and the current UFC bantamweight champion, Aljamain Sterling. Now, I know fighters don't, talk about what happened in the training room, but given how that went, how do you think you'd fare in if you
hold on? I don't know what this rumor is. Are we saying that Adrian Yanez knocked out Aljamain Sterling in training?
Oh man,
is that what we're saying?
Can I
just some hot gossip going around on the internet?
Aljamain Sterling knocks out UFC bantamweight champion of the world, Aljamain Sterling, and won't shut the fuck up about it.
Oh man. No, I was actually gonna pull one that you said a while back ago. No. About Luke Rockhold. It's like I'm the Strikeforce champ.
Oh shit! There you go.
no, man. It was fun. It was a fun, good time, man. I had a lot of fun, and especially, man, like Aljamain, helped me learn a lot of things, and that it was a fun camp, man. It was fun being out there, man. I absolutely love the guy, man. He's a phenomenal person.
I'm listening. I am. Harrington, what's the next question? My mum just called, and my mum very, very, very rarely calls me, so I'm not being rude. But she's disabled and can't walk and stuff. So I'm just making sure that she's okay. But what's the next question, Harrington?
Next question. You go to a restaurant, you order a Dr. Pepper. They tell you they only have Pepsi. Are you fighting someone?
Absolutely. Absolutely. First off, why did I even walk in there? That's the first question. Like, if they don't have Dr. Pepper, like I should know that by now. But yeah, no, I'm punching someone in the face, I'm gonna give the waiter a tip and just
never
tell him to
really got involved in the whole Dr. Pepper hype. If I'm honest,
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that you haven't.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke or Pepsi? Neither.
Really?
Coke no. Oh wait, hold on. If I had to, I would add the cherry Coke or a cherry Pepsi.
Oh God, see that's the problem. We're not going to get along. I was going to say, Adrian, maybe you need to come back and break down some fights with me next time Anthony Smith isn't around because you're fucking good at this. But now, cherry Coke. You're coming at me with cherry Coke?
Cherry Coke or cherry Pepsi. The only time I can accept a Coke is if there's some Jack in there, all right?
Oh, okay. Now you're singing my song. Harrington, one more, buddy.
Okay, so this one I know none of the backstory for. It just seemed like an interesting thing to me. Casey Blythe asks, "What is the first thing you did with the money that Gilbert Burns gave you?" And can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Okay, so Gilbert Burns actually, so when Tony Kelly first made his comment, Gilbert Burns found out that I was fighting Tony Kelly, and he was like, Adrian Yanez, if you knock out Tony Kelly, I'm gonna send you some extra cash. And I did. And he pretty much was just like, he was hitting me up on Instagram, told me, hey, send me your Zelle information and I'm gonna send you some cash. And I told him, bro, like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And he went on Twitter, started a campaign to make me accept the money. Needless to say, it was just enough where I was like, all right, fine. I sent him my Zelle. He sent me some money and I'm just like, oh shit, okay. And like, I was like, oh, all right. But I ended up, honestly, the first thing I probably bought was, I think I bought my son a hat. I think I bought my son a bucket hat. So, yeah.
That's how it goes. The kids come along, you don't get fucking anything for yourself these days. You're the one fighting. You're knocking people out. You're defending the honor of Brazilians worldwide.
Oh, man.
But it's Little Junior.
Yeah, little Junior's getting everything, man.
Hey, what a gangster move from Gilbert. But isn't he the nicest guy ever?
He's the nicest guy in the world. He just like, I told him, I was like, I told him, I was like, bro, you don't have to. He's like, yeah. I know I don't have to, but I want to. And I left him on red for a little bit, and then he goes on that Twitter campaign. I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
He got you. All right, well, listen, we've taken up enough of your time. Honestly, Adrian, love talking to you. We've got to do this again sometime. Would love to have you on and break down some fights for real. So keep an eye on that Instagram inbox. But listen, congrats again. Amazing performance and all the best.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Take it easy, buddy. Talk to you soon, man. Yep. Yeah, Adrian Yanez. What a guy, Harrington.
Dude, he was the man. I love him. That image of him with the double middle finger after that Danny Kelly fight is probably the image of UFC Austin.
How are you going to feel about it when he takes your job?
I mean, it's a long time coming. God bless him. He clearly knows more about production than I do. Bigger and better things.
Not a bad setup he had there. Certainly going in for the whole Darren Till theme, that's for sure. All right, a couple of other big stories that we hadn't got to yet. Joe Lozon, Donald Cerrone, as we know, supposed to be on, what was it, 264, I think? 5? 4?
270.
Regardless, he had 264. Yeah, he had tacos. He got food poisoning, something like that. He refuted that story as well last week. But whatever, the fight didn't go ahead. He was throwing up. This time, Joe Lozon, fucking what? An hour or two before starts his leg kind of all seized up. I thought it was a bucket handle meniscus tear. They had all kinds of people in his room. I saw the video evidence before anyone starts. Oh, he just shit it. Joe Lozon isn't the type of guy to pull out of a fight. The man is an absolute animal in the octagon. His leg just seized up completely, so they had to call the fight off again. I mean, talk about bad luck.
Yeah, and now Dana White, after the fight, they asked him, he said, this is Tony and Khabib 2.0. I'm never booking this fight again, unfortunately, because I was pretty excited for it.
Yeah, well, no, it was a fight that made sense for both men, because with respect, they're both towards... Well, they're at the end of the career, and I don't need to bloody, that's not breaking news, and that isn't going to surprise them. Cerrone, just look up how many fights has he had. I think he's had 47 because he's talking about he wants to get to 50 fights. That would have been his 48 had it have gone ahead. 2 more, is it 47?
I have 54 total mixed martial arts fights. He might be going for 50 UFC fights, I'm guessing.
No way, it's not 50. No, it's not 50. But anyway, either way, that would have been a fantastic fight because for both men, they've both been around a long time. I saw Joe Lozon make his UFC debut at UFC 63. But do you know what? I saw Cerrone because I think Dana, they said they tried to get the fight again in July. Did you see this?
No.
And he said, no, it was at the post-fight presser, and Dana said he doesn't want to make weight again, right? And I don't really understand that. I don't understand it. Maybe there's something I'm missing, maybe a little piece of the puzzle, because if he fights soon, making weight's going to be easier than if he fights in 3-4 months. Because as fighters, I mean, I saw Cerrone at the weigh-in. He looked ripped as ever. He looked really sucked in. Of course, making 155 is not easy for him. That's why he fought at 170 a lot. But if you take your foot off the gas, you start eating properly. The training schedule isn't what it was when you're training for a fight, obviously. You might still go to the gym. You might work out every day. You might not work out at all for a week or two. Who knows? You ain't training the same way than what you are for a UFC fight, though. When you got a UFC fight in a couple of weeks, yeah, you're training really hard. Do you know what I mean? So he's going to put weight on. So I get that he doesn't want to go through that hardship of making weight 3 times in a short period of time. In fact, yeah. Now that I say it out loud, it's got to be that because it fucking sucks. But the fact still remains. Down the line, if he gets heavier, he's going to have to go through that whole weight loss phase and then the weight cut as well. Do you know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, I don't know. I was just looking here, while we were starting this conversation to like the Tony Ferguson, right? Something I think has always damaged his career. Right, is the weight cut that he made for the Khabib fight that was supposed to be in April at the beginning of the pandemic, and then he had to go and make weight again 5 weeks later to fight Justin Gaethje. So, I could see a situation where Cowboy Cerrone at his age, not, you just said it yourself. He's made weight twice already for this, doing it 3 times in the span of 3.5 months or something like that. That sounds like a goddamn nightmare.
No, it is. It is. Trust me. And the way you do it, it's fucking awful. You pretty much kill yourself. That's why I want these weight classes. Sorry, not the weight classes, weight cuts to try and be eradicated. Of course, that's a conversation for another day. And how you do that, how you enforce that is a whole different matter. More weight classes I would be a fan of. Go on.
I was going to say, I mean, for somebody like Lozon, who's about the same size as Cerrone, has been at 155 pretty much his whole career. Why not just do a no weight cut? We'll go fight at 170 or even a catch weight of 175, for this special bout so that no guys to cut again.
Well, not even a catch weight of 175, just have it at 170. If that's the issue, you know what I mean? I'm not sure what Cerrone, Cerrone's a tall guy. He is, you know what I mean? I remember once I was in New York and I was, I don't know where I was. And there's some tall dude with a beanie hat on and his jacket and like a big collar all comes running towards me. And I was like, who the fuck is this? I was ready. I was ready to go. I was ready to throw down. And then he grabs me by the face. Hey, what's up, bitch, man? Oh, it's fucking El Cerrone. You don't know how close to losing your life you were there. No, he scared me to death. But I did not expect it to be Cerrone though, because he was so tall. Yeah, 170. But still, it fucking sucks. It sucks. The amount of fights have fallen through last minute. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about doing a YouTube video on it. Because Kenny Florian, I think he told me a story. He was off for a fight once. I think it might have been an Ultimate Fighter finale. He was packing his bags to leave for the airport. And he just threw something in his bag, tweaked his back, had to pull out the fight. Jakar Close, Jeremy Stevens. Remember, they were on there. They actually squared up at the apex at the weigh-ins. Jeremy Stevens pushed him, and then I think that gave him a concussion. Ken Shamrock, when he fought Kimbo Slice at Elite XC, I think that was in the locker room. They were warming up, and his eye got cut, I believe. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Imagine that. You go through all. See, that's the thing. I mean, the fight not happening is one thing. I know they're both been around the UFC a long time, so there's a possibility. I don't know that maybe they got their show money. Maybe there isn't. I don't know. Do we know that? That?
Well, I think that if you weigh in, you get your show money. No, and didn't Cerrone weigh in on weight?
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah. So they got the show money, but it's not just the money. You know what I mean? It's all that fucking sacrifice. It is. Trust me. And I know I go on about it a lot, but it's hard. Training camps are grueling. They're hard. And to your point, what you said about Tony, you only have so many weight cuts left in you as well. Each one takes a little piece of you every single time. So that is a shame for both of them.
At their age, there's only so much time left in your career. So to now have 2 blown fight bookings, that is very unfortunate from 2 guys who I do enjoy seeing in the cage quite a bit.
Without question. All right, real quick, I want to tell you about truebill.com. Listen, these free trials that you sign up to, well, the free trials turn into paid trials. You end up paying for them, and then they renew them without your consent. It is a business scam. They are out to get you. So do not let the greedy corporations pocket your money. All you got to do is download Truebill today to take care of all your subscriptions. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions that you do not want, need, or just simply forgot about, because there's a lot of them out there. On average, people are saving about $720 a year with Truebill, because companies, this is what they do. They make it very hard to cancel. It's kind of like, they do it on purpose. They suck you in and they make it very confusing, very hard. Okay. Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link all your accounts and Truebill will cancel all your unwanted subscriptions in just one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them or when you want them to cancel subscriptions so that you don't have to. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I started using this and I just discovered so many. Like, you wouldn't think, like, little ones from years ago that you forgot about, and it's only $2.99 or $3.99, $1.99. So it doesn't, you don't really notice it, but when you put it all together at the end of a year, you have wasted a shit ton of money. So don't fall for the subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/believe. Go right now, truebill.com/believe. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/believe.
So the internet is giving Joe Lozon a lot of shit right now, saying that a locked up knee isn't a big deal and they should have just unlocked it and kept it moving.
Oh my God.
Now, you don't have knees anymore, but when you did you ever get a knee locked up and then you couldn't do anything for a day or so?
No. I had my arm lock up on a number of occasions. It would lock up like crazy, and that's because I had a lot of floating, chipped off pieces of bone or cartilage that then get bigger in size, and they would get into the mechanics of the joint, and sometimes it would lock up. That was actually why I had to pull out of the Robert Whittaker fight, which was a shame. But yeah, people online, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You think Joe Lozon's going to pull out of a fight of this magnitude when Cerrone's already pulled out of it the first time? And I don't know if you saw the video. There was videos. Dr. Davidson is the head doctor. He has been for years with the UFC. Could have sworn he was in his room trying to work on him. They had the people from the PI. They had masseuses. They were throwing the kitchen sink at it. And the thing was locked up. And then I saw a video from Joe Lozon saying that someone online suggested something to do, a way of treating it. And he said, listen, I have the same thing. Do this, that, and it'll fix it. And he said, yeah, miraculously, it's fixed. So I guess that leans into if you're a total dickhead that thinks somebody like Joe Lozon makes up that kind of thing, I guess that would give your story weight. But no, the fact that you see all the people in the room working on him, UFC officials, these were not his cornermen. These were not his friends, his buddies, his pals, trying to make a big hoax so he can pull out of the fight. No, it was the UFC officials working on him. It's just, what do people think? Do you know what I mean? Why do people's minds instantly go to these wild conspiracies? The fucking far-fetched imagination of the human mind. I mean, it's fantastic, but it's very fucking annoying. All right. Well, listen, we're going to do questions, Harrington. Okay. And we're going to answer them. So, Brian, if you have any questions, go away, Brian. If you have any questions, I would like to say, send them in at bympod@gmail.com. The more creative, the better. The funnier, the better. We want hard-hitting intellectual questions as well. Whichever ones float your boat, send them in to bympod@gmail.com. On that note, Harrington, would you like to expand further on the message that I just relayed?
Of course I would, Mr. Bisping. If you are listening on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts, make sure you're subscribed to the show and leave a 5-star rating, positive review. It really helps out the show. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you click the subscribe button, ring that bell so that you'll find out whenever a new episode comes out. And if you'd like over 300 episodes you cannot find anywhere else, head to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use promo code BYM, get 7 days free.
You are very good at that accent. Surprisingly. That did tickle me. You are good at that. Brian, what have we got, buddy?
It's because it's the only way him and his girlfriend communicate with each other. We have a question here from Mr. Devane.
Oh, Dev.
What's up, guys? My name is Dillon. Love the podcast. The question to you, Mike, is if you could go back and change time and you knock Vitor out, he loses his eye, you get to keep yours. But in the future, you don't get to win the title and you get knocked out by that douchebag Rockhold. Let me know. I'm curious. And also, you said you like botanical gardens. Happen to deal with bonsai. If you're any interest, shoot a message and get you a tree, man.
Look at that shit. I want a bonsai tree. I do. I've seen the Karate Kid. I'm obsessed with Japanese culture and martial arts. I always wanted a bonsai tree. I believe they're very expensive. Dillon, that's a very nice garden you've got there. It doesn't look very botanical. It looks more like, are you in Louisiana? It looks like some kind of swamp down there. But I'll take one of your Tamagotchi fucking, what are they called again? Those kamikaze trees. What are they called?
Bonsai.
Bonsai. Yeah, send me a bonsai. I'm serious. Brian, if you can hook that up and he wants to send me a tree, I will give you my address.
For sure.
But, maybe the gym's address. Question, one eye. If I could have beaten Vitor, he lost his eye, but then I got to remain the champion, would I have done that? But I would have got knocked out against Rockhold. No. One condition. Because I'm very happy with the way everything turned out, and I guess in some ways it makes my story even better. And it means I had a good story for a documentary that hopefully one day I'll make a few quid out of. Right now, I haven't seen a penny, but hopefully one day we're going to be rich. It made the story better. Well done. I had another point. But yeah, no, it is what it is. Now, this is the caveat. As long as my good eye doesn't fail me. Fail me now. As long as it doesn't fail me now. Do you know what I mean? I'll be good. If I go blind, let's go back to this question and I'll say, yeah, keep the belt. Give me the eye. Other than that, Harrington. Sorry, Brian.
I have nothing to add here. Jesus.
Yeah, dude.
All right, Harrington, answer my question for me in a very posh English voice.
No.
All right, so we got a question here from Mr. Lee Bosworth.
What's going on, Lee Bosworth?
Hello, it's Lee from Newcastle again with another question.
Man.
The question is for Michael and Anthony. In a 5-round fight, to wear your opponent down, do you think it's better to invest into the wrestling, or do you think it's better to invest into the body? I don't think we see many people who actually invest into the body shots much, but I think in the Glover-Yuri fight in the 3rd round, I think them blows to the body is potentially what took that last 30 seconds out of Glover. That's just a personal opinion, but I'd like to hear from you what you think. Thanks a lot and keep up the good work.
Cheers, mate. No, 100%. Body shots are massively underutilized in mixed martial arts. I don't know why. I mean, I guess because you got to be a little closer in range. But I used to like to rip to the body anytime I have someone backed up against the fence, because obviously you go high, they bring the hands up, and the body's always exposed. Now, we do kick to the body frequently and a lot. However, finding that sweet spot, really hitting the liver and having the proper effect, it's hard to do. But they are underutilized, as you said. Yuri used them very, very well in that fight. What else did he ask? There was something else to his question, wasn't there, Harrington?
Well, no, he just asked which is more effective for taking.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, working the body or wrestling. I mean, it all depends on the opponent. It all depends. Working the body is always a good one, because working the body, it's money in the bank. You know what I mean? Because as I say, if you land the perfect shot, right, it causes all kinds of a nervous response reaction to your nervous system. I was watching a video the other day and I tried to replicate what they said, but I fucked it up already. No, your nervous system spazzes out, basically. That's what's happening there. And then you fall to the floor. Because apparently this video I watched, you have to fall to the floor. Your body wants to lie down, apparently. Oh. I didn't know that. But still, if you get hit with a proper body shot, you're going down. Simple as that. But you don't always find the sweet spot. In fact, it's very rarely, most people don't throw one body shot and get the job done. But generally, when you do land, you still feel it. You still feel it. Like you could hit me, if we were sparring, you hit me in the stomach, and it looks like I don't feel it. To the people at home, it looks like you don't feel it. And of course, we're trained fighters and we don't want to let on that we're hurt. But even just little crappy ones that don't really hurt, you still feel it. And then you go to it again and again. And again, it has an accumulation effect, an accumulative effect, even. It does.
Can you feel the gas tank draining with every body shot absorbed? Like, can you feel like
it's not that the gas tank is draining, but it's just it hurts to use your heart and lungs and be active. Do you know? Because you feel this pain. It's hard to explain the pain of a body shot. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's certainly the ones that don't drop you. You feel it, it's there, you know, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And the more you're moving around and breathing and heavy, it just gets harder, you know. And then all you want to do is go down to one knee, take a few deep breaths. So as I say, the accumulation of landing those type of shots is what does the job. So yeah, it will wear your opponent down. And wrestling, of course, as well. You know, certainly if you're not used to wrestling, you make them wrestle, you're making them, you know, you got to use a lot of strength, you know, and, you know, like if you lift weights, here's a good example for people that don't wrestle. You lift weights, you do circuits, you do loads, right? And then eventually what happens? Oh, you can hardly move your arms, you know what I mean? And it's all filled up with lactic acid, right? It's the same thing. If you make someone wrestle when they're not used to it, that will slow them down as well. But they're both effective. I wouldn't say one more so than the other. Well, I would. Body shot all day to the fucking liver. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We got one more?
We do. We got one more here from the guy who runs one of our fan clip pages, BYM Laughs.
Oh, nice. I'm a big fan.
Hey, what's up? It's your guy BYM Laughs on Instagram.com, where we post the funniest and most outrageous clips from this very show. Go give it a follow if you want. Also, Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith don't say it enough, so I'll say it for them. Go get some merch. This is one of the most comfortable t-shirts I've ever gotten, and it has Devil's Avocado written all over it. You can't go wrong with that, baby boy. Let's go. Anyway, my question to you guys is, when it comes to the MMA industry, a lot of people talk about certain fighters having incredible or generational jiu-jitsu. Now, from your knowledge, is there a clear ranking at the top of the food chain when it comes to the greatest pound-for-pound jiu-jitsu fighters on the planet? Would it be someone like Charles Oliveira, who has the most finishes via submission, but has also lost a few times via submission? Possibly Brian Ortega, Ryan Hall, Crone, or Neiman Gracie from Bellator, or maybe even Khabib. Now, I know what you're thinking. Khabib's not a specialist in jiu-jitsu. Well, he's finished many of the most elite 155ers on the planet, and hasn't shown any weakness. Now, maybe it's someone I didn't mention. Anyway, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on the fighters I just mentioned, and maybe even put them in some kind of ranking. Maybe even disagree on some of them. As always, love what you guys are doing, and I'll see you again in the next one. Let's go, doggy.
Don't say that anymore, okay?
Don't say what?
Doggy.
I
That's
didn't
the
hear
old guy. I'm just kidding. What was his name again? Brian?
He just sent from BYM Laughs.
BYM Laughs guy. That's how you deliver a question. You know what I mean? And yeah, do get some merch, but we're doing new merch. I've got these t-shirt designers. It's going to be me knighting Lionheart Smith because he's a knight. You know what I mean? She's going to be on one knee. Why did you laugh?
That's just a cool image.
Yeah, he's gonna be like drapes in that.
Are you gonna have a crown on and the whole?
Yeah, I'm fucking gonna be knighting him. So
yeah.
Yeah, this is your podcast now. You know, something like that. So what was the question? I didn't. Yeah. I now crown the Believe in Me podcast, Anthony Smith's Ray's producer. I didn't understand the question. What's he talking about? Generational jiu-jitsu. Is he saying that who's got the best jiu-jitsu?
All-time best jiu-jitsu in UFC history, pound for pound.
Yeah. I mean, Oliveira is definitely the obvious answer. He's got the most submissions. He's so fucking dangerous. He snaps it on. But are you disagreeing?
I have one obvious answer that wasn't on his list.
Yeah, Damian Maia.
The professor, baby. Damian
Maia. Well, listen, you got to give Hoist Gracie his due as well.
Fair.
Hoist Gracie, of course, he started the whole fucking thing. I'm still not saying he's the best, but he definitely is an honorable mention that needs to be mentioned. That's why it's an honorable mention. It's a very honorable mention. Jake Shields, he deserves to be mentioned. I'm telling you, I've rolled with him. He's a fucking goddamn nightmare. Did not tap me out, though. Might have got him in a Kimura. Didn't tap him, though. Just literally got the position for a second, and that was that. But still, it's my claim to fame. But yeah, Damian Maia, for sure, one of the best. Charles Oliveira, for sure. Who else? Any suggestions?
I mean, I think the Ryan Hall one is weird, right?
Ryan Hall is very skilled. Very, very skilled. Very skilled, but it just seems a little one-dimensional. And okay, you might argue that that's more of his mixed martial arts approach as opposed to his jiu-jitsu approach. But I just see him rolling for Minari rolls and lying on his back. You know what I mean? No, it's true though. Does he?
I know.
That's what he does in his fights. I haven't been in the training room with him. He is a wizard on the ground, you know, and the speed of which he can lock up submissions. But I haven't seen enough outside of the UFC. I haven't seen him at all to really, you know, and I haven't seen enough of a well-rounded game to put him on a list like that. But he's tremendously talented. Jay
Black
Shields,
Belt Hunter?
Damian Maia, who's that? Kazushi Sakuraba?
No, I was going to say Rodolfo Vieira. I mean, he's kind of newer in his UFC career, but
yeah, I'm sorry he got tapped out of Fluffy Hernandez.
that is fair. He was very tired.
He was very tired, but he got tapped out. Fluffy's very good. Fluffy's very good, but we can't say he's got the best jiu-jitsu when he got tapped out against Fluffy. Oh, Fluffy Rooney over there. You know what I mean? Oh, Fluffy Pants. Right. But I'm going to give you a name. BYM laughs. Give him a follow. Give Harrington a follow. The M Harrington. At B McKay is right for Brian McKay as well. Give those a follow. And that's it. That's the show. We're going. We got through it. Oh, Adrian Yanez, Josh Emmet. Thank you, Josh. Didn't have long. I'm not surprised he got off. I was all over the place on that interview for the first couple of minutes. Fucking hell. So, Josh, hope you well. Congrats again. Yanez, of course. Congrats. Harrington.
What's up?
Congrats.
Thanks, man. I feel like we just had a really good show.
It was good. It was good.
He begrudgingly admits.
Exactly.